Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gashi's Comment TV, the Tourist Man in Black Africa. Since yesterday, Kenyans have been anxiously waiting for Unga to sell at Kenya shilling 150. Maize flour is expected to retail at Kenya shilling 150. None other than the head of state himself promised Kenyans that one was to happen as from Monday. So far, only two brands are said to have lowered their prices, and that is Omi, that is maize flour, and Ajab, which is wheat flour. All the other companies were retailing in their supermarket between Kenya shilling 187 to 220. That is the reality. Those are the facts that no one can deny. Huo ni ukweli wa mambo. Lakini jambo moja ambalo tunaona likijitokeza ni kwamba tuliona hata Hussein Muhammad akitoa habari ambazo si za kuaminika kwamba unga tayari umekwisha shuka bei. Hussein Muhammad was doing this when the Muslims were celebrating a very, very important religious activity, which is wrong in my view to tell lies at the time of Ramadan. The deputy president himself has also promised that Unga would sell at Kenya shilling 159. That is what he told Kenyans on a national TV or a national radio, if you may call it, because that was Kiriribe Kia Inoro. But when you look at the two readers, they are already giving contradicting prices. One is saying at 150, the other one is saying at 100 and 159. And this one just tells you how uncoordinated William Samoei Ruto's administration is. But I want us to show you the political notes or the political connection between the price of Unga, especially between the two brands, because they are very much related. I would start by asking you one question. Who is Muhammad Jaffa? Have you ever heard of a businessman, a tycoon from Mombasa called Muhammad Jaffa? Have you ever heard of the grain industries? Have you ever heard of that company, the grain industry? If you have never heard of the grain industry and Muhammad Jaffa, a tycoon from Mombasa, Muhammad Jaffa is the one who owns the grain industries. And this tycoon is the one who manufactured the two brands, that is Omi and Ajab. Huo ni ukweli. And here it is important to note that most of his time, Muhammad Jaffa has been financing Raila Amolo Odinga's campaign. But he decamped from Raila's camp. He defected to William Samoei Ruto in 2021 and started financing William Samoei Ruto campaign. See the connection now. And when Kenyans see these two brands, they have not seen the political connection between the two brands and the person who was financing William Samoei Ruto's government, then politics is about to take a center stage. People will continue arguing. But now when you know that this man, this tycoon, is a right-hand man of William Samoei Ruto, with all the political connections, with all the access to State House, then you know why the two brands decreased or lowered their prices. Because I was talking to a number of guys who work in the milling industry, and they were telling me it is very, very difficult to lower the price of Unga to Kenya shilling 150. It is very, very difficult. Ni vigumu. Ndio wakasema Unga unaweza kushuka labda tuseme 180, 175, the lowest. But they were saying with the high cost of electricity, with the high costs of fuel, it is becoming very, very impossible to lower the cost of Unga. Again, they were also arguing that the cost of maize is still very, very high. And when they do their maths, you realize that it is not possible for sure, because the government is still taxing them. Although the government is saying that it has removed taxes and it is bringing duty-free maize, what there is that even the guys who were given the license to bring duty-free maize are guys with political connections. Kenyans realize this. It is not anybody. It is just the ordinary millers. And if you've been watching the politics of Unga, like yesterday, for those of you who watched the incompetent agricultural minister, the CS, Mithika Nturi, he could not even be able to state or to name the millers who were given the license to import the duty-free maize. He could not even name one. Reason is because all these have political connections. All these, most of them are for sure, lazima wawe walikuwa wana gharamia siasa, kampeni za Kalenjin and Kikuyu, that is Kenya Kwanza, ukitaka. Huo ndio ukweli wa mambo. Again, when you look at our country, you realize that the government has not even been able to assure Kenyans that the maize that was brought is GMO free. Though Mithika Nturi is trying to tell Kenyans that there is a case about wamejaribu kuangalia wakaona kwamba the maize is fit for consumption, but with the politics that are surrounding Unga, it will be difficult to trust the government as far as this consignment of maize is concerned. So it is the high time that an independent person, a independent company was mandated to find out if this maize is GMO, because Kenyans are not ready to eat genetically modified food. That is the truth of the matter. If you go to the ground, hakuna mtu ambaye ako tayari kufanya hivi. Again, it is important to look at why the government is so much keen on Unga. Why is the government having sleepless night as far as Unga politics is concerned? The first reason, in my view, is that desperate times call for desperate measures. These are desperate times. If you have been following the economy of this country, you realize that the government is claiming to be broke. Yes, our government of lamentations that has always been accusing Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and the handshake brother Raila Amolo Odinga has no money, has not been able to pay its civil servant up to now. The government has not been able to disburse money to the counties up to now for 4 consecutive months. And what we are learning is that the government is just about to float another Eurobond that will take 10 years to pay, so that it can try to move out of the hole. So the government is saying that it's not going to take any loan, it's not going to borrow money. But what is this? This is just borrowing money. Floating the bond that you give, I don't know how much, about between 60 and 80 billion. I believe that the government is desperate. I believe that is why the government is very keen, because it has realized that Kenyans are becoming very impatient. The other reason why Unga politics is taking center stage is because the government is also very keen on defeating Raila Amolo Odinga. One of the demands of Azimio is that the cost of living must come down. Hivyo ndivyo wanasema, na huo ndio ukweli, kwa sababu watu wanaumia kila mahali. Mama boga analia, baba boga analia, mkokoteni, mburura mkokoteni analia, mburura rukwama analia, kila mmoja analia, mimi nalia. Je, sijui kama wewe unalia? Indeed, when you look at the situation, people are supporting Azimio demonstrations. People are supporting Azimio mass action. And that is why the government is very keen to ensure that there is a lot of propaganda, such that people will be able to see, like, the cost of maize has come down. That is why, I've always opined in this channel that because Raila Amolo Odinga normally set the agenda, the political agenda of this country, the government is running out of options, because You know, yesterday, Tuliona, as I've shown in the other video, we saw the government, Azimio side, pulling out of the bipartisan talks, saying that they don't see the need of talking now. That means they are going back to the street. And the government is moving in very fast with the Unga to try and bait the electorate so that people can see that the government is doing the right thing. The other thing that the government is trying to do is because of what I would call the president word. You know, most of the time, the president has always been saying things that are not happening. The president has always been promising Kenyans things that the government is not able to fulfill. Even this one, I don't know whether the government is going to fulfill. Only time will tell. If the past explains the present and the future, then if we judge him by the past, then this one can just be termed as a false promise. Remember the many promises that the government gave to Kenyans? We are still waiting for free internet. We are still waiting for Unga to come up down all the way to Kenya shilling 100. We are still waiting for Kenya shilling 300 gas. We are still waiting for, I think, 1,000 dams. We are still waiting for the cost of electricity to come down. So, the government is very careful this time to show that the president is now telling the people the truth. So to keep, just to show that the president can be relied on now, because when you don't tell people the truth, people will not, hawataamini kile ambacho utawabia. Hata ukisema nini, hawataamini. So for the government to protect the name of the president, the word of the president, that is why the government is reverting to these guys with the political connections. So they just tell them, just wewe puguza bei ya Unga, aga watu waone tunafanya kazi. Jaribu kutuokoa hapa kwa sababu unajua hii serikali you are just a shareholder. Because I believe these millers who have been granted duty-free licenses, these guys, I believe they are shareholders of Kenya Kwanza company. There's so much we can say about Unga in this country. But without lowering the cost of production, that means lowering the electricity cost, lowering the cost of fuel, we are not going anywhere. I can tell you. Because you also remember, farmers pia wana mahidi yao na pia wanataka kuuza. And there's no way the government is going to sell, to ensure that Unga is going to sell at Kenya shilling 100. This will remain a pipe dream if you ask me. There is no way. There's no day that any supermarket will sell Unga at Kenya shilling 100 as long as Kenya Kwanza is on the helm of leadership of this country. What of the appetite for the taxes? What of the appetite? What of the corruption that is bedeviling this government? What about the many things that we are seeing? What of the propaganda? Kwa sababu mara nyingi tunaona ni propaganda ambazo zinafanya kazi katika nchi hii. Mara nyingi tunaona ya kwamba mambo ambayo yanasemwa sio yale ambayo tunaona yakitimizwa. I don't know what you think. But if you ask me from where I sit, Unga politics are not just about to vanish. We are here and we are going to witness Unga politics. We are going to see if the millers will bring down the cost of Unga today, because so far what we have seen is hot air. This is your host, Righteous Coming the Towards Man Black Africa. Can you like this video, comment, and please may you have a blessed day. Bye bye.